Good afternoon, my YouTube viewers. This is Crystal. I'm here. This is my last video on statistics for the time being, and I'm just covering real world examples of statistics. And in this real world example, we're going to cover urban planning. And so basically, you can use urban planning to determine if you need to build more houses. So what I do is I have the year in one column of data and the population in the second column of data. And so this is also going to be a time series. And so you can see that what I've done is I've actually made a graph of this, but what you may not realize is the graph is done exponentially because the question that I found was growth was exponential. So first thing we want to do is we can make a chart, which I've already made the chart, but I'll show you how I did it. So we're going to recommended charts, we're going to all charts, we're going to XY scatter, we're going to that, which is what we got. So we've done that scatter plot, but I don't want it. And then so now what we do is we go into the plus, we go into the trend line, and then we go into more options. And in the trend line it says linear, but what we want is exponential because the growth is exponential. And then another thing that we want is to display the equation on the chart and display the r squared on the chart. But we're not going to do that. We've already done that as well. So we've got that. That's how you get the equation. And this is an exponential curve. And the equation is y equals 3e minus 7e to the 0.896x. And r squared is 0.996. And as we covered in a previous video, r squared, the closer to 1 it gets, the better it is. So that meant that this is a really good r squared. And so basically what you would have to do is if you found out that a certain area had exponential growth, then you would need to determine that you need to build more housing in that area because it's growing exponentially, which we already determined that the population is growing exponentially. So that's going to be more formulas that I can't give you, but this is just an example of how you can use statistics for urban planning and how many more houses you would need to build. I'm not sure, but I suppose that what you could do is one thing that you could do is you could go into data. So we come over here and go into data. I'm just looking for forecast. Forecast sheet. And this will give you a forecast, and this will tell you how many more houses you would need to build. So you can see that it's growing exponentially every year. So by 2028, you would have a population of 2250 roundabouts, or 22,500 roundabouts. So you would need to build that many more houses to accommodate the new population. So that's one thing you could do to actually figure out how many more houses you would need to build to accommodate this exponentially growing population. And there are lots of methods that you can use for this time series, but those methods that I know of are actually in Python. But maybe one day, as I get more and more into Excel, because obviously, I'm paying for Excel. I pay every month for Excel. So since I'm paying for Excel, I want to use Excel as much as I possibly can. So as I get more and more into Excel and learn more and more about it, then we will be able to determine using formulas precisely how many extra houses you would need to build. But for 2028, from 2024 to 2028, that's 4 years, you would need to build more houses to accommodate about 5,000 people, close to 5,000 people. And I'm not sure how many houses that you would need to build, because then you have to build single person dwellings and you'd have to build family dwellings. So I'm not sure exactly how many houses you would need to build, but this diagram here gives you an idea of what the future population is going to be based upon an exponential growth and how many more houses you're going to need to build. So that concludes this video. Because I've covered the population, exponential increase in the population. I showed you how to make a chart, and then we also forecast it. So you've learned a lot in this video. If you like my video, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I look very forward to communicating with you in other videos as we get more and more deeply into Excel. And at some point, I'm going to be doing Excel and Python, and that's going to be really exciting.